It sort of evolved out of a mid-19th century, a movement that saltwater bathing was very helpful. And Adolf Sutro, who owned the Cliff House and much of the Land's End area, he decided that he would build a outdoor swimming station, he called it. It would actually be sort of a man-made lake filled with seawater, so people could get the benefits of swimming in seawater without having to expose themselves to the open ocean. And then he went another stage. He decided he'd put a roof over it, and then, just enclose the whole dang thing in glass walls. And when it finally opened in 1896, its grand opening to the public, it was possibly the largest building west of the Mississippi. And he wanted to do something for the people of San Francisco. And he built the baths that was not just swimming. There were exercise rooms, what we'd call saunas. There were club rooms, 500 changing rooms. The place could handle over 20,000 people at a time. It was a place to go, to be seen, and to just to watch, even if you didn't swim. There were vaudeville acts, and it was a huge attraction. It was just a giant white elephant from the day it was built. It went through so many iterations, and it included constructing seawalls and running a rock quarry and everything else. But he said it cost over $1 million. Wow. And that's $1890 is like $28 million today. It was really in the middle of nowhere when it was built in the 1890s. And to get people out there, because it was the middle of nowhere, he funded the construction of a steam train that ran from where the Jewish Community Center is now, all the way out California Street, to bring people at the least expensive means of transportation. They were very good at coming up with things to keep bringing people out. To emphasize that this was blue collar. This wasn't for the rich people up on Nob Hill. These are the photographs that you see of these Victorian women and, overdressed, and guys in bowlers, and, just sitting in the sand. By the 1910s and 1920s, the place was kind of sad. It was you've been out there. It's totally exposed to the weather. Giant, the roof leaked. Waves were breaking the windows on the ocean side. The taxidermied animals were getting moldy. And during the Great Depression in the early 1930s, visitation was really dropping off. And at that point, Sutro was long gone. He died in 1898. His daughter was managing the estate, and his daughter decided that they would rehabilitate the Sutro baths and give it sort of a jazz age makeover with jazz bands. They installed an ice skating rink, volleyball courts. For a while, they even filled one of the swimming pools with beach sand and called it the Tropic Beach. It was part of San Francisco, but it was just so vast that it had a hard time being current. It became old and in the way. And in the early 1950s, there were all the articles about Sutro's is going to close, the future is unknown. As you know, they never built the condominiums.
Yeah.
It changed hands several times with various developers. And in 1980, Congress authorized the National Park Service to buy the ruins as open space. And it wasn't the ruins, it was the hills above it and the nearby coastline. Eventually filtered down to 4 options. And the last one was the one we called Don't Ruin the Ruins. And that's the one that we eventually went with. It had the most support, and that was to not just leave it untouched and dangerous, but try to preserve it and make it safe. But the public, they just love going down there, exploring the caves and the ruins.